know how you're drawing and just think, man, this would be so much better if I had the actual skills to do it? Well, recently I've been looking back over my older drawings during around this time, so yeah, yikes. I've been digitally drawing for about 34 years now, and I remember thinking the exact same thing. With a bunch more skill under my belt, maybe I can finally draw that image that was in my head in the very first place. So I'm going to choose this drawing, which is one of my first human drawings. I still think it's pretty cute, but yeah, that was a while ago. I remember being really proud about it, and I think I drew it again a separate time. Yeah, here's that. I think I drew that like 2023? 23? Most likely. To start off this drawing, I'm going to figure out her design a little bit more by adding some more design elements to show how much my art has grown from 2022. I'm not the best at character design, but if I'm able to add a few quick points to her, I can make the drawing overall more interesting. So by doing that, I'm just going to add more dimension to her outfit and practically make her look like a Pinterest girl. So while looking back at all my old drawings, I saw so many animations that I quit because I lost motivation, and some of these were actually really cool to look back on, even if I didn't ever remember making them. I just want to set aside this portion of the video to recognize the amount of unfinished stuff that I had pushed to the side, because who knows why? Motivation? Lack of creativity? Yeah, probably. But I've slowly gotten back into this type of animation, and even though it was just myself, I can still sympathize with the want to create, but just putting it aside because I no longer have the interest to finish it. You have this great idea in your head, but knowing that you probably can't reach that standard, it's just really demotivating. If you're an artist or a writer or just any type of creative, I recommend going back and looking at your old and unfinished stuff. Seeing just how many projects you didn't finish because you don't have the skill set to do it. I don't really know what the point of my yapping is about, but just appreciate that you still tried something new. Maybe that's a skill that you can do now. Let's not get sidetracked, so let's go back to the drawing. In the sketch, I really tried to portray how I knew younger me imagined it in my head, so here is her design sketch. I'm going to try and follow similar colors and try to pull off the same gracefulness in her pose. I'm also going to try to emphasize the petals in the final. I start off with her pose sketch and decide to just have her sitting down while we're looking onto her from above. This is not another tangent, I swear, but Valentine's Day was a few days ago, and I meant to post something related to this art piece, but I didn't. So here is the piece now. Happy Valentine's Day, you lonely people. Pose sketch. I went back and made adjustments, but after that, I just wanted to go into the background. I want to have a painted effect with minimal line art, except for, I guess, the character, like the original drawing had. And here is me yapping in real time. Okay, I finally finished the sketch. So here it is. I know it doesn't look like much and the background's really confusing, but I swear I have a plan. Very maybe summery, but mainly spring. Cherry blossoms in spring. So yeah. Yeah. Let's get started on the line art. My favorite part. You heard her, it is time for line art. Now I said minimal line art on the background, but I will get rid of it when I'm just painting it practically. But yeah, line art. Oh, also I gave her a little sketchbook and tried to put her in the experience that I had when making this, of that bright image in my head, but just not executing it yet, blah blah blah. I probably could have removed this from the final and it wouldn't have made any difference, but whatever. Back to me yapping my yaps and repeating everything I already said in the script. Okay, now I am moving on to coloring, which is what is going to bring everything together. Currently it looks, very empty, but that's because I kind of want like a painted kind of look. So I might get rid of some of the line art in the background. So let's get started. I love coloring. It brings everything together, and I really want the colors in here to be vibrant and warm. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining me coloring the background because it's just filling in the colors, so it's boring. You get the gist. Now I head into rendering the grass and the tree in the background. Painting grass was so hard for me to understand, so I just grabbed a random brush and started making squiggles. But now I know how to draw grass, so I don't do that anymore. Just add a lot of lines. I want the lighting to show that she's leaning up against the tree, and the perspective is almost like we are in the tree. Don't fall off. You're going to break something. And also, I want to add cherry blossom petals onto the ground. Okay, I'm about to start on her coloring. The background's not like done, but it's like done. So it's like practically done, but it's not Dun dun. Okay, for the best part, figuring out my colors for the character. I decided to go for paler colors on her outfit to make her pop against the background, and I'm also going to knock out the shading here. When I'm doing full backgrounds or just simple character drawings, I do very simple shading so there's balance. However, with vibrant single character drawings, my rendering gets very complex. I think my video corrupted when I try to see the video. It just glitches out and doesn't show me the drawing in real time. It just cuts to separate frames. So here's the time lapse, I guess. You're not gonna have like me actually doing it in real time. But, you know, can't fix it. Here is everything shaded. I still need to do rendering and lighting. Lighting is gonna be very important with this. It's just gonna wrap everything all together, make it look very pretty. And then I also need to color her line art, and then we'll be all set for final changes. Okay, for the lighting, I want to make it like the sun is peeking through the blossoms. I also added filters to my drawing to give it a warmer effect. Even if the sky is in frame, I want to make the time of day clear. So it was a little hard for me to get the lighting on the ground just right, but I'll manage. I also left the lighting on the petals in the foreground to show their dimension. And here is the final piece. I really like this, and I'm very glad that I chose to redraw it. I think it really just shows how much I've grown over the past 3 years that I've been drawing digitally. Just the perspective and the lighting and just overall like what you're looking at here. I had a lot of fun drawing this, and if you watched all the way through, thank you so much for listening. I'm Astri, this was a video, and I hope you have a nice day. I'm gonna go untwist a fire hydrant and run around like it's a sprinkler.